Hello there, friends and followers, and welcome to this live stream, and welcome to A Pilot's Life Chapter 2 by SimBitWorld. In this video, or this live stream, beg your pardon, we're going to be taking a look at a pilot's career application, if you will. And before we begin, I wanted to just share a little bit of my thoughts with you guys, and I want to welcome James. James, welcome aboard. Wifig Trishal Abdulaziz Ramadan. Good evening to you, my friend. Guns Killers, welcome aboard, folks. We are currently at Queenstown in New Zealand in the Cessna 172, and we're just going to be departing here. And I'm going to tell you just a little bit about my thoughts on those tycoon type games or applications for flight sim, and why I decided to take a look at SimBitWorld. Now, the developer has graciously offered me a copy. Captain Poland, hello, my friend. The Sim Hanger, Mark, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us this evening. And Captain Britannia, hello, my friend, and welcome. Now, the application actually works. SimBitWorld, A Pilot's Life, works for all three sims, the sims that we care about and love. That is P3D, X-Plane, and Microsoft Flight Simulator. But I figured I will do the opening scene in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and then as we progress through the video, I'll show you different things and different features. Now, for the longest part, I have, for the longest time, and the longest part of my flight simulation career, I have stayed very much away from the tycoon type apps, such as On Air and, those apps where you can purchase aircraft and then you have your own FBO. And so on and so forth. And the reason being is that it really takes me away from what I like to do, which is flying and really simulating the experience of a real world pilot, which is what we all like to do. Those games are more focused towards maybe being a business person in the aviation industry. And this application, the SimBitWorld, A Pilot's Life, is very different in that it is not something that simulates having a business in aviation, but being a pilot, where you actually get your type rating on an aircraft, and then you go to the market, you apply for a job as a pilot, and you go to the airliners. And of course, as a beginner, when you just start as a pilot, you're unable to really get a job with the big airlines like British Airways or KLM. So you're going to have to settle for budget airlines. And this is depicted so well in this application that it actually intrigued me, and the developer has provided me with a copy to preview, and it was actually something that I really liked a lot, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And not only that, but it actually, so this application is the cultivation of 4 years of hard work by the developer, really understanding, one, the actual life of a pilot and how is it affected, and then taking all of that and programming it into the sim, which is something I personally, it wowed me, to be very honest. And the reputation is very important in SimBitWorld, A Pilot's Life, because if you keep doing those really bad landings, your reputation is not going to be, very favorable in the aviation industry, and therefore you will not be hired by the big airliners. You also can compete with a lot of people in the community, and you will actually sign a contract with your favorite airliner, and you will receive a weekly salary for your for flying. So you are actually a pilot in this app, and I think enough talking. Let's go ahead and bring it. I'm going to go ahead and hit escape here, and let's go ahead and bring SimBitWorld, A Pilot's Life. This is the user interface where you can set up once you have downloaded the application, you can set up your account. Now, I have already set up an account, and I have already created an aircraft. So I wanted to show you all the features. Once we see all the features, then I'm going to delete my account. So we're going to delete the current pilot, and we will create a new pilot so that you guys can see it from the beginning, the actual experience of how you go through this. Currently, Q8 pilot is a junior first officer. My current rating is 92, so I've done very well. I am currently employed at Voloti, and I've done actually one flight according to my schedule. Now you can see the rating of the airline here. It's a 2-star airline. Luke, hello, my friend, and welcome. Hoctor, hello, my friend. Glenn Chambers, Ryan, Lewis, hello, guys. CJ6060, welcome aboard, friends. Glad to have you all with us this evening. And you, as you can see here, we have the dashboard. So this is your dashboard where you have the current contract. My bank account currently has $2,500. My hourly salary is $24 an hour, which is pretty low, by the way. Not exactly minimum wage, but that's pretty low. But we can get that to increase with time as I increase my reputation and also increase my bank account that goes along with it. The inventory, so this is the number of flights. I've got a photo album. Let's go ahead and take a look here quickly at the current contract. This is my current contract with Voloti. As you can see, this is a contract of employment. It was signed on the 29th of April, and it says, you know, the employer and who's the employee. It really is really cool. It's a nice touch that you actually see the contract, and all the terms of the contract that I've signed up for are detailed in this contract. Out-of-pocket expenses, the employer agrees to reimburse the employee for any expenses, which is kind of cool. And of course, it's the contract is signed by the employer and by myself, Q8 pilot. Peter, hello, my friend, and welcome. So, this is the first thing you need to take a look at. Now, from the job market, if we click here on the job market, this is highly dependent on, so these are all the airliners, and these are real world airliners, and they actually, all the flights in this application are real world routes. So you can actually filter. So I like the fact that you can type in the airline name or ARCO, and you can filter the region. You can enter the airline country. So for example, if we type in here Kuwait, there you go. And this is actually correct. We have two airliners. This is the national carrier in Kuwait, Kuwait Airways, and our budget airliner, Jazeera Airways. We can try, for example, something else like United Arab. Let's see, United Arab Emirates. I think I misspelled that. There we go. And these are all the airliners currently operating in the United Arab Emirates. You can see Emirates Airlines, Etihad, Fly Dubai, Rotana Jet Aviation, Safi Airways, and Air Arabia. So again, very granular in terms of filtering. So you can see all the offers. Currently, there are no job offers. I think I have applied to one of these airliners, but it actually did not. It was pending because I'm currently not very, you know, my reputation level and my history in the aviation in SimBitWorld is still not very mature. Now, if you go to the schedule, this is my schedule as a pilot. I've done one of the flights already, and as you can see, I always like to pick shorter distances. And I am currently type rated on the A320. So this is the aircraft that I fly in in SimBitWorld, and this is my current schedule, so I need to fly these. Now, the contract type has 3 different features. One is fly at will, so there is no penalties, there is no bonuses. Now, you can also select that you have to match an hourly quota of flights to make things a little more challenging, to make it, a little more spicy, if you will. So it depends, and we're going to, of course, take a look at that in a minute. The logbook, it contains the actual logbook. This is actually in flight that I've done, and I've done it in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're going to go ahead and click on the details of that flight, and now you can see the entire flight. Now, what's very interesting is that all the phases of the flight are rated by this application, and it will affect the final result and how much XP points you're going to receive in order to boost your reputation. As you can see, I've done well in almost all stages of flight. The landing lights, looks like they were off before 10,000 feet. And it looks like, the landing rate wasn't very good. So I was rated 3 out of 5, and failed taxi. Where's this? Beacon light on, fail, and maximum ground speed. Looks like I was kind of skyrocketing on the ground. And so it deducted points there. It gave me a 0 there. Also, you can see from this everything related to the actual to the flight that you've done. So where we have departed, we departed from Lima, India, Romeo, November. This is the actual real world flight number for Volatility. And we've flown on the 29th of April. The block time was 1 hour and 12 minutes. This is the landing rate. This is my final score, the XP points, the G-force, landing G-force, the flight time, arrival time, everything related to the flight, including the altitude and ground elevation graphs, the indicated airspeed, everything is, and by the way, you can print the report if you like, and keep it. I print them as PDFs and keep them, but you can print them using your printer. Now, of course, you have all the filters here. As you progress in your career, you're going to have a lot of flights there. So if you want to refer to them, you can always go to the filters. If you go to the flight. Now, this is the actual current flight or the flight. This is the next one in the schedule. And from here, as you can see, there is a SimBrief dispatch. So you can actually do a SimBrief dispatch, and then you can, of course, do the flight report and do a submit flight once you land. So your flight can be evaluated, and you are given a score for each specific stage of that flight, which is very cool in my view. It's kind of really nice. Shodan Cat, hello my friend. Vugo Max Ground, hello my friend, and welcome. Yes, absolutely. Shane McDonald, hello my friend, and welcome. Glad to have you all, and thank you guys for tuning in. From the shop, now this is where you're going to begin your career later on. We're going to see that. But there is financial education, and you can, this is an investment category. The initial investment that everyone should have, again, you need to buy, you can buy this, add it to, to your cart and check out. There are multiple things you can do: crypto markets, stocks, mutual funds. I'm not sure what those are, honestly. But this one, for example, says effective communication, demonstrates effective oral nonverbal. I don't know what this is, but I guess this is kind of, it will boost your XP. So as you earn money, you can go for training. This is, for example, relevant. Leadership and teamwork. As you become a captain, you need to command, the cabin crew on board the aircraft. And there are a few courses there you can take to boost your reputation and, kind of, beef up your CV before you apply for the big airliners like Lufthansa, British Airways, KLM, Emirates, Etihad, Qatar Airways. And then from the community, this is where you actually go to look at the leaderboard. So you have everyone there in terms of their wealth. By the way, currently there are 4,000 folk playing on that on SimBitWorld. So 4,000 individuals on this application, and this is really good. This is really good. You can see here in the leaderboard for XP, you have Q8 Pilot, which is really cool to see. And then I have the XP points there. Now you're able to reset this, of course, if you want. From the reports, you are able to look at your financial reports. We can look, well, let's go ahead and say generate report. And now you can see this is the financial report, and it shows, you know, the current bank account. You know, I've spent 2,500 for my type rating. Now the numbers there are probably not very realistic. So that is one thing I personally would like to see if those numbers were correct. So, for example, type rating for an Airbus, how much would it actually cost? That would be really cool to have in the application. And I hope the developer takes that into consideration, because again, this is a pilot's life. So this is how the pilot is actually running his, you know, his pilot career. So it would be really interesting to see real figures there. So how much would it, you know, cost to go through the type rating for an Airbus, Boeing, whatever aircraft you pick? From the settings menu, you are able to set, you know, your username, order details, serial number. You can set your name, change your password, do all that good stuff. If you are an APL version 1 username, you can enter it here and you'll get a few more XP. You can switch also to dark theme, and you can save your settings here. Now, the help is something I really like, because the way they've done this, they've integrated the entire documentation manual into the actual application, and you can also submit your ticket. I love companies that really, you know, care about support and really caring about the full user experience. So this, in my view, is a very well polished application. Career Ocean, hello, my friend, welcome aboard. It gives you a message when the salary is paid out. That's exactly right, but it's not as nicely formatted as the contract. Yeah, and of course you can go through the application overview. It tells you some information. It tells you, by the way, about the you know, what this application is, and it is really jam-packed with things. You know, tracking your score. You can come every day and look at your progress. You will feel the sense of achievement for sure. You will enjoy the diversity of 575 airliners and 280,000 up-to-date routes included. So everything is very realistic in terms of the routes, in terms of the full experience doing, you know, going through the schedules and planning for your flight. And of course, last but not least, here you can log out of the application. Now, we're going to go to the settings, and what I want to do is I want to say restart career and take you guys through actually the experience of signing the contracts and selecting your, you know, your company and all that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and say restart career. It wants my password. Let's go ahead and give it the password. And let's go ahead and confirm it's not reversible. Yes, I am sure. And we are going to reset everything. And now you can see that Q8 Pilot is now a junior first officer, and my bank account has been credited. Let me see if we can move this. All right, we can read it here. It says the bank account has been credited with 5,000. And yeah, so of course I will have now currently no contracts. By the way, you can also have a resume. That's kind of cool. So as you progress, you will actually have things shown on your resume that you gotta beef it up. Again, if you want to apply for the big airliners, you know, the highly reputable airlines, you really need to Kabir, hello, my friend, and welcome. You really need to beef up your CV. So, achievements, obviously, there are no achievements. There is Hummingbird, the one completed flight. This is one that I've already done. And then we've got the inventory. So the inventory, educational items and investment items. And finally, the photo album, which you can upload photos, again, of your favorite flights. Maybe you've taken a screenshot and you want to associate the screenshot or the aircraft for that matter. You can upload your photos here. Perfect. The events will be displayed here. Currently, there are no scheduled events. And the first thing, if you go to the job market, it will tell you you do not have any aircraft license purchased. To access this page, you will have to first purchase a license. Do you want to do that? I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, let's go ahead and do that. Now, the interesting thing is when you buy a family of aircraft, you will get the entire family. So for example, if we select the A320, so it says Airbus 320 family, again, very nice touch, gives you a lot of information about the Airbus A320, and it gives you the operators of the A320. Look at that, 270 operators around the world, and the variants are 6. Now, when you purchase the license, you will actually receive all of these variants. So you will get the A318 all the way to the A321 Neo, and those are all the operators. Now, in the beginning, you will not be able to, of course, sign up with these operators because your CV is still not looking very good. But this is actually pretty good. And you can go, for example, if you go to the 737 family, again, you can see that the operators 239. And again, you will get all of these variants. So essentially, you will be type rated on all these aircrafts in the application. And then you will be able to apply for airliners that fly the aircraft that you're type rated for, which is very, very cool. Espen, hello, my friend, and welcome. Does it have a multiplayer mode? Is it depend on the internet connection? I guess it does require an internet connection, because I think you compete. I'm not sure if it's multiplayer or not. I don't think it's got that option, but you've got everyone in the community playing. So you've got 4,000 people in the leaderboards, and you can go and interact with them. You can always schedule something. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have our first group flight, folks, using this application. So I'm going to go ahead and select the A320, and let's see here. Very popular aircraft, and it's available in both Microsoft Flight Simulator and in X-Plane. And by the way, this application works for all 3 sims. All you need is XUIPC and FSUPIC for Microsoft Flight Simulator, P3D, and XUPIC for X-Plane for connectivity. And you're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and select the Airbus family, and we're going to go ahead and purchase the license. The aircraft was purchased successfully. So now we are type rated on the A320, and now we can go to the job market and apply for a job as a pilot. So we finished our cadet program, and we are ready for applying. Now, once you do this, now you will see a lot of airliners here in the airline list. And those are the job offers that I have now received. You can see that we have Wizz Air UK, Tunisia Air or Tunis Air, My Cargo Airlines, Mirage Airlines, and Cambodia Angkor Air. Now, Wizz Air in the UK probably is the one that I will. Now, these are automatic. Now, if you select any of these guys here, it will show pending because you can't really, apply for these airliners unless you've built your CV, that you're actually there. Is there a Discord for this application? I believe so. Yes, I will try to post all the links to the to the Discord in the description section. I will check with the developer again, and if he's with us here, maybe he can let us know if there is an actual Discord. Gulshan Kumar, hello, my friend. Welcome. I'm doing very well. I hope you are the same. India Virtual Aviation, hello, my friend. Welcome. Is Indigo there? I would think so. Yeah, I mean, we can check Indigo. Yep, it's right there, my friend. It's all there. All right, so we are going to remove that. Now, these are the available offers that we've received based on our type rating on the Airbus A320. I'm going to go ahead and apply with Wizz Air UK. Now, you can, by the way, first, we're going to take a look at the details of the contract. Now, here, you can actually take a look at the headquarters, the United Kingdom, the current hubs, Echo Golf Whiskey type is passenger. The code, the ICO code is Whiskey Uniform Kilo and Whiskey Niner. Call sign is Wisco. Fleet size 25, so not a very big airliner there. And the fleet overview, they've got 11 A321s, 9 A320s, and 4 A320neos, 21 neos, and 1 A320neo. I also like the fact that there is a short description here, so you can really appreciate the amount of work that has gone into developing this application in order to bring it to this level of detail. And now we can, review the airliner. So not just the airliners reviewing us, but we also review the airliners to make sure, this is, something that we want to do. Now, if we look at Wizz Air UK, and we look at the distance, all the distances there are quite long. So there are long distance flights. So that is something you need to be aware of as you apply for the airliner, because you're going to have to fly these routes. So you have to make sure that you're comfortable with these routes before you sign up. We can look at Tunis Air as well. They're offering a higher weekly salary, $26.35 an hour. So sorry, that's a weekly salary, hourly salary. So this one is much better. And by the way, hourly doesn't mean that you're gonna get paid by the hour, but you're gonna get paid per flight hour. So if you fly for a couple of hours, that's like, something like $52.70, something like that. So yeah, so it doesn't mean that you're gonna, get it per hour. I wish. If we look at Tunis Air, for example, now in Tunis Air, we can see that they have shorter distances flown on the AT-76. That's the ATR, I believe. Now, that's not the aircraft that we're type rated for, but again, shorter distances there. As you can see, departing, this is, if I'm not mistaken, that's somewhere in Sudan. I'm not sure, but you can see shorter distances with the A320, A330, it looks like. So they do have some shorter distances. Again, this is the A320. This probably is a better choice for me because of the shorter distances, so we can very quickly finish these flights. So I'm going to go ahead and accept the employment offer by Tunis Air for $26.35 per hour per flight hour salary. Now, when you click on sign, there are a number of contract types that you can sign up with the airliner. One is worry-free, which is probably the one I will sign up for. You don't have any targets to meet. You're free to fly as much as you want. Then there is a type of contract where there is a number of hours, there is a target hours that you need to complete. So you have to meet a target of at least 5 hours per week. If you complete the target, you're going to receive a 10% bonus to your salary. And if you do not meet the target, you're subject to a penalty of -10 of your salary. So it goes both ways, huh? Number of flights target. So that's another thing that you can, the type of contract that you can sign with Tunis Air is if you complete, you have to do 10 flights per week. And if you complete your target, you receive 25% bonus. That's a very generous bonus there. Pingcom216, hello, my friend. Thank you very much for your kind words and for your support. Appreciate it very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to select the worry-free for, at least for me. I don't want to have to worry about targets because I don't have much time, but we're going to select worry-free and accept and sign the contract. Congratulations, you are now a pilot at Tunis Air. Best of luck. All right, so we have now signed up with, there we have it. Look at that, the contract of employment. How exciting. We finally signed up with Tunis Air and Kuwait Pilot in Tunisia, and of course I'm in Kuwait, and all the terms of my contract are now available here. And all right, so here, by the way, look at, so this is actually different from my previous contract. Yeah, there's so ownership interest is not included. Partial ownership of the business operation of the employer. Oh, so Tunis Air is going to give me pocket money, but they're not going to give me stock options in the company. So I guess each company has different terms, which makes it really exciting. So yeah, it's very important that you, again, read the contract so that you are familiar with the terms of the engagement with your employer. Again, this is now signed, and we are now, we can go now to the schedule. And from the schedule, as you can see, we have, again, schedule options. So we can do short haul, medium haul, or long haul flights. You want to do round trips from the hubs, random trips, or random continued trips. So that's, again, pretty cool. Yeah, yeah, Captain Poland, 10 flights in a week is a lot, Most really is the non-compete clause for the first 7 days. Absolutely. So now these are, as indicated in the beginning of the stream, you are now licensed to fly the A318, 19, 20, 21, and the 20 and 21 NEOs. So this is we are type rated. And what we can do is, I'm going to remove medium haul, and I'm going to remove long haul. We're going to say round trips. Nah, that's not, that's kind of boring. So we're going to do random trips, and I'm going to select now in X-Plane, we have the A320, A319, and we have an A321. In Microsoft Flight Simulator, we only have the Airbus A320. We have the A330, but it's not included here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the A318. I will leave this because I do have the TOLUS aircraft, and we're going to leave the A321. And we're going to leave all of these because all of these aircrafts are available in X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Simulator. So now we can click on Generate. And now the schedule has been generated for us. As you can see, the first one is, that's actually a pretty good flight to do. As you can see here now, we have to accept the schedule. So I haven't accepted the schedule yet. So if you're not happy, just regenerate and you'll get a different set of... Nizik, hello, my friend. I don't have any idea about the pricing of this app, it just actually exited beta. So the beta testers were working on it today, and the embargo was lifted. So I decided to come and showcase it here on the channel. I have no information on pricing, but maybe the developer will join us. Hopefully he will, and he can let us know how much it costs. So now we can accept this. This looks like a nice a nice flight to do aboard Tunis Air, char 404 from Hotel Lima Lima Mike, which is Tripoli International Airport in Libya. And it goes to Tunis, Carthage, I guess in Arabic, the way it says, International Airport in Tunisia. Departure time 1440, arrival time 1555, distance covered 281 nautical miles, and we have, you know, several shorter flights. This one, for example, is pretty good. Bordeaux in France to Toulouse Airport in France, a short one. Looks like it's a connecting flight by Tunis Air. So we're going to go ahead and accept the schedule, and I'm going to say yes. All right. Now the schedule has been accepted, and now we are ready. By the way, we can skip flights, and you can print your schedule as well, which is really cool. SimBitWorld, oh, he's there with us. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. Yeah, so now we actually have the schedule. We can begin going to the flight. And if you go to the flight, you will see that we have the first one in this schedule already appearing. We can divert to an airport. We can change the aircraft. It's already selected the cruise altitude, so we can set it if we want. But what we can do is we can do a SimBrief dispatch, and this is something I really like in this app. So integrated with SimBrief. So I'm going to click on SimBrief here. And let me just bring the window here real quick. All right. So now we have everything pre-filled for us in SimBrief. The airline, flight number, and this is all real world information with the proper, you know, departure time. Aircraft type is selected. And we have, of course, the SID star, all that good stuff. And yeah, we can now go ahead and say generate and say yes. And we're just going to wait for SimBrief to... All right, so now the flight is ready. And by the way, if you click now on the flight report, it says the report is available post-flight stage. So once you actually land, you'll be able to submit the report and get the rating similar to what I showed you in the beginning of the stream. So now we are ready to go. The only thing you need to do now, as you can see, is load up your favorite simulator. You can see now it says server connection status. This indicates the server to the SimBitWorld server. And then flight simulator disconnected. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we need... not sure, but I think we need, I need to start, let's see here. We need to start FSUPIC. And now we can see that the flight simulator is connected. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the simulator because I do want to show you that, by the way, it detected everything. It says flight not started. And we need to go to, let's see, Hotel Lima Lima Mike. Okay, now according to our flight plan, by the way, once you've put the once you've generated the flight, let me just show you this real quick. You can use your favorite, my favorite flight planning tool, which is Sim Toolkit Pro, and you can go to the flight planning and just say load from SimBrief. So you can definitely have your operational flight plan, all that good stuff. And it shows you the approximate time, about 1 hour and 5 minutes for this flight. So, and there is no SID. We're going to be departing runway 10. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and we're going to go back to the main menu. I'm not sure if I have the livery of Tunis Air. Santiago, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. See, Lively Bids. Hello, my friend. It absolutely looks very good. Oh, SimBitWorld version 2 will be released tonight, ladies and gentlemen, at 2200 UTC. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. And I think folks were asking about the price. So if you can graciously share with us the price as well, that would be great. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the world map. And we are going to select, by the way, folks, I have already purchased the Leonardo MD-82 as well as the Just Flight BAE 146 Professional. I will be streaming both during the week. So let's go ahead and select the airliners. And these are the two beautiful aircrafts released. So let's go ahead and select the fly-by-wire and the liveries. We'll just keep it. We'll leave the livery, the one this one here. So let's go ahead and go to Hotel Lima Lima Mike, was it? Yes, that's the one. That's Tripoli in Libya. And we are going to be departing today, runway 10. So that's the runway, and we can just simply place the aircraft here, set as departure, and we're going to say fly. Let's just give it some time to load. Alrighty, so it looks like we have loaded now the aircraft at Tripoli. Let me change the time here so we can see better. There we go. Now, of course, I don't have the airport here, but yeah. So now let's bring back SimBitWorld, and now we can see that it has automatically detected pre-flight, and it will actually keep updating everything in the begin as we begin our flight. So it will actually keep scanning for the let's see here, we keep scanning. So block time is there, flight time is 0, all the information is there. All right, so now here's what we do. This is pretty much what we need to do in order to set up your your type rating. So we're type rated. We have signed the contract with Tunis Air, and now we can fly the actual flight. Now, here's the thing, folks. If you'd like me to actually do the flight, we'll do the flight. And if you want to call it a day, we will also call it a day. You've seen everything that the application does now. So you have seen, we have a new subscriber with us. Welcome aboard, my friend. Welcome to the Q8 Pilot channel. So if you guys would like me to go through the flight, we can definitely do that. Maybe we'll do bits and pieces of the flight, but I can show you then the flight. You've seen the flight report. That's the reason, by the way, why I have decided not to reset my account. So that, oh, okay, you guys want to see the flight? Do the flight. All right, do the flight, definitely. Okay, so since we're going to do the flight, we are going to bring SimBitWorld later on. We're going to move it now to the side, and we can do the flight. Okay, so you guys want to do the flight? Let's go ahead and turn on the electronic flight pack, and I will bring SimBitWorld as we go through the flight so that you can see the how it updates things. And let's see here. So we can go import from SimBrief. And this is the information that we have. And we can come here and select the fuel. And we're going to download the fuel as well. And say, all right, so now we have the correct amount of fuel. Let's go back to the services and connect the external power to the aircraft. And now we'll head over to the overhead panel. And let's see here. All right, so we're going to go battery 1, battery 2, and we're going to turn on the external power. We're going to come over here and turn on the cruise supply and the ground control. Next, we're going to turn on the ADIRS to nav mode. We are good there. Next, we are going to arm the emergency lights, and the aircraft is already fueled, ready to go. So we're going to turn on the non-smoking signs and the seatbelt signs, and we're going to turn on all the fuel pumps like so. And everything looks good here. And now we can bring some lights to the cockpit. Our PFDs and lower and upper ECAMs, and of course our MCDU. Perfect. And right there as well. Perfect. And we'll do it on the first officer side as well. Espen, hello my friend, and welcome. All right, so let's see here. QNH 1012, and our final cruise altitude today, according to our flight plan, is, let's see here, 30,000 feet. So we're going to set 30,000. Now, in the in SimBitWorld, I think it was showing 28,000. So I'm going to put here, and here, let me just show you this real quick. So you can see this 28. So we're going to put 30,000, so that it and it will auto refresh, so it will know once we are cruising at our final cruise altitude. Perfect. All right, we can go to the MCDU. And to do this, we are gonna use the preset views. All right, so we can come here to the ATSU and select the OAC menu, initial. Let's go ahead and send the request. I think, by the way, this is the first time I fly out of Tripoli in Libya. I don't think I've ever done a flight in this part of the world. So there we go, initial request. We have Tripoli to Qartaj International Airport in Tunisia. All right, so that's done, and we're going to go to the ATIS, and we are going to select, actually we're not going to select that, we're going to go back and do a WEX report, and let's, the airports are not there. So, Hotel Lima Mike. And let's say sending. All right, and next we're going to go to the weight and balance, and we're going to send the request here, and we're going to go ahead and say start boarding. And now the passengers will board the aircraft. If we go back, let's see if we have any received messages. We do have the METAR information. There is no METAR for this. Yeah, that's okay. Let's go back to our flight plan, and we're going to go to page init, and we're going to request everything from SimBrief. I love how this integrates with SimBrief and just loads all the information there. So this is our flight number and IRS alignment is complete. Everything is good. Of course, we can't put our zero weight. We can enter it, I suppose, from the flight plan. And just wait for the passengers to load the aircraft. So definitely we can do that. Let me do that real quick here so we can probably save a little bit of time. Let's see, zero fuel is 137. So I'm gonna go to the next page, and let's see. All right, next. All right, so zero fuel, and so we need to wait a little while for this to materialize, because if you click now, it will only compute partial zero fuel weight and zero fuel weight CG, center of gravity. So we'll just give it some time, and perhaps we can take a look at this area of the world, which is quite interesting. because I actually never flown into this part of the world, and it's quite interesting to see, you know, Libya. Yeah, it's a pretty empty airport, but yeah, I think it's looking okay. Bit of a strange looking airport, but of course this is default airport, so I'm not sure if it's you know, I'm not sure if it's actually depicts what you'd see in Libya, but there you go. All right, head back here, head to inside the cockpit where things are getting prepped up for our departure. And here's what we'll do. We're going to go ahead and start the APU now. Right, so master switch is turned on. We'll wait for the APU door to open, and which it is, and now we can start the APU. Nav lights can go on. By the way, if I bring SimBitWorld here again, you can see that it's the arrival METAR. Again, the departure METAR, it seems like this information is not available. As we've seen, it's not available through the fly-by-wire, or it looks like it's just not available. But we have it at our destination. 360 degrees, 7 knot wind, which is you know, pretty okay. Few clouds at 3,000. Temperature is 16 QNH 1017. So should be a straightforward approach into into our destination in Tunisia. And let's go. All right. So we're just waiting for the passengers to load. We can get rid of external power. That's done. And we can come back to the electronic flight bag and remove external power. I've done, by the way, folks, today the very first flight in the BAE 146 Professional. The Just Flight team has graciously offered to provide me with a copy of the aircraft to preview, but I decided to purchase it in support of their efforts. And I do like to do that. So normally after the first update, I decide to go and buy, even if I'm provided with a copy of an add-on, I normally just go and buy the add-on to support the developer. And of course, as you all know, I like to remain unbiased when I do these reviews. So for those of you who know me, they know that it doesn't really affect me if the add-on is, even if it was provided to me, if I don't think it's a good one, then I will definitely say so. But for those of you who are new to the channel, of course, when I announced that this was provided to me as a as a copy, then they don't take my comments, I guess, very seriously. So there we go. GD, hello my friend. It is compatible with X-Plane. Yes, absolutely. I've tried it with X-Plane and I tried it with P3D. Again, folks, as I've to reiterate, it works with all three sims that we all like and love. It works with MSFS, it works with X-Plane 11, and it works with P3D, which is great. The only requirement is, as you've seen in the manual in the beginning of the stream, is that you need to have FSUP. Actually, let me show you here. Let me just bring this back. So if we go to the help again, and we go to the requirements here, as you can see, let me just make this a little bigger. All right. So it says first the application requires a flight simulator. All right. So it requires FSX all the way to FSX, P3D, X-Plane, or MSFS that supports FSUI PC or XPUI PC. All right. So it works with all of them, and it works great with all of them, really. And I highly recommend that you also go through. Oh, by the way, that's the Discord server. So if you guys want to go, you know what? Let me copy this and put it in chat for you guys. Copy that and let me put it here. Please do join. There you go, folks. That's the Discord server for SimBitWorld. Please go ahead and join the Discord server. And of course, we have also the Instagram and Facebook. Here's the Instagram. Let me give you that as well. All right, and I'm also going to give you the Facebook page. Of course, the website is SimBitWorld.com, and do pay them a visit. And as a reminder, folks, please do give my official partners a visit as well at their website, www.inibuilds.com, the Q8 Pilot official partners. And we're going to go back to our flight now, and still in pre-flight, of course. Let's see here, how are we doing in terms of the Mach 2, ATSU, and let's check the weight and balance. We're almost still, it's taking a little bit of time, but that's okay. So you can join now the Discord server, and you have also the Instagram and Facebook of SimBitWorld. Please do join them, and you can interact with the great folks in the community, and make sure that you come and say hello to me as well. Dancing Tango, hello my friend. Pay is only £25 per hour. It's 26 something per hour, per flight hour, yeah. Now this is not very realistic, okay? So the pricing, so for example, the type rating price that you'd pay is definitely not, it would definitely cost you a lot more. And that is, I think, an area for improvement in this application. As a process, it simulates the process of a pilot's career. So applying with the airlines, you know, beefing up your CV, taking training, and making sure, you know, you do good landings as well. So that is definitely going to affect your reputation. So from that perspective, I think the process is pretty solid. The application interface is very solid. I absolutely love it. Just look at the beautiful user interface, very intuitive, very easy to follow. It doesn't have, you know, cluttered information. Everything is laid out beautifully, nice, error-free, you know, very, again, testing is a key thing when you develop applications as payware. And I think SimBitWorld has done a very good job, you know, really putting out a finished and polished product. So yeah, I definitely would recommend this this application. I personally, guys, by the way, I don't like those tycoon games, right? Where you purchase aircraft and then you move them and you create an FBO, and all that is not my cup of tea, to be very honest with you guys. But this is very unique and it's very different, and it's close to my heart as well. I really enjoyed you know, going through it, and you know, when I signed the contract, for example, it just, I chuckled with joy because it felt so real. It's kind of like, you know, when we saw the FBO in the Challenger 650, that was really cool. And this is kind of the same. It really does simulate the career of a pilot, and with, I think, a little more tweaks in terms of the, like, the price per hour, and you know, the type rating, and maybe, you know, you can have an easy mode and a difficult mode, right? So maybe something for beginners or intermediate users, or like avid flight simmers, where you actually have to work on the training. And this can be done, I mean, the way I'm just thinking out loud, if you actually had to go through some sort of a test in order to pass your type rating, not just the money part, that would be really cool in my view, and it would be really interesting to, and very educational as well. So currently I like it in its current state, but I think there's a multitude of ideas that would really take this application to the next level. I can just think of too many things right now, more than, you know, the scope of this live stream. But yeah, definitely a recommended application, and it's not very complicated. So I don't like this really complicated ones where you spend hours setting up your headquarters and your FBO and assigning pilots to your FBO, and you end up doing 3-4 hours and you haven't even done the flight. Now here on stream, of course, because I'm going through everything, it took some time to show you guys around. but it takes you no more than 5 minutes to set everything up and you're ready to go and fly. So from that perspective, very well polished, very well thought of, and it is really an intelligent application, and it's well polished, and I think we're good now. We're almost there now, folks, and we'll be starting our engines momentarily and flying over to our destination. All right, since we still have some time to load the last passengers, let me bring up SimToolkit Pro, and we're gonna go to Navigraph, and let's see here, flights, and we're gonna go to all right, well, is there, right, let me just refresh this real quick. All right, Navigraph charts, and we are going to say flights, and we're going to select a new flight from SimBrief. This is our flight today, and we are going to take a look at, so there's actually no SID. We are going to be departing AAA runway 10 direct to Conch, and then we are going to arrive at runway 01 at Cottridge International, or Portage in Arabic. That's the way it's spelled or pronounced, beg your pardon. So if we click here and take a look at it, I'm very unfamiliar with this, by the way. This all right, so it's an ILS approach, and it looks like there is a DME arc for the approach there into runway 01, and the approach altitude is 1900 feet, and there you go. You can see that, and that's our approach. You can see this is in DME arc. There you go, 3700 at the DME arc, and hopefully I'm not sure, by the way, if this fly-by-wire flies the DME arc, but if it doesn't, we'll just fly it manually. That's all right, and everything else is looking good. Perfect. All right, so we can now close this, and we can close that. And this is us right there. That's the top of climb, the top of descent. Brilliant. I absolutely love SimToolkit Pro. All right, about 45-minute flight, not very long. And let's see. Hi, it's a new airplane. While so the pilot is going to get paid every Monday. The payment schedule is every Monday. We get paid. And of course, if you have any bonuses, those will be calculated as well and paid into your bonus, into your salary, which is Monday of every week. Our business jets also supported with companies as NetJets. I believe just about all of them are supported. So the type rating, if we go to, we go here. Looks like the passengers are loaded. All right, we'll take a look at this at the end. Let's go ahead and all right, so everything is set here. Now what we can do is we can go to the init page, and we can go to the next page. Now it will give us the correct zero fuel and zero fuel center of gravity, and the block fuel for the flight today is let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, on behalf of myself, your captain, the first officer, and cabin crew, I'd like to take this time to welcome you aboard our flight. We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here and waiting to receive final numbers from the ground crew, then we'll be on our way. Flight attendants will be coming to the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing.
5757.
You give them your full undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome aboard.
Or 5.8 actually, 5.8. I'm still kind of having flashbacks of the Leonardo MD-82, which I've flown earlier today, just to kind of brush up on it. All right, so we can go to the performance now, and if we set flaps 1 here, we'll be able to get our V speeds: V1 134, V rotate 135, V2 139. Transition altitude is 5,000. We'll put 50 for flex temperature here, flux takeoff temperature, and now everything is looking good. If we go to plan and we cycle through our flight here, Again, I think everything looks good. By the way, here's a chance to look at how the DME arc is drawn in this fly-by-wire. Decel, there's a disco. So, oh, it's actually not drawn there. Didn't we select our... it looks like we haven't. I thought we selected our departures. Alright, so runway 10. We're flying direct. So we're going to insert that. And we're going to move this discontinuity. And then... Look at that. That's funny. And then we're going to go to our arrival. And the arrival is ILS 01 through... there is no star, I suppose. Yep, there is no star. So we're just going to insert that. Alright, and let's see if there are any additional... there's the T of D. And decel, final fix. And there we go. Alright, let's do flight plan here one more time. Let me increase the range here and take a look at what our approach looks like here in... Alright, so it looks like, I'm not sure how, but this looks very different from our chart, but that's alright. Alright, let's go back to flight plan here, and we're going to set this to arc. We are ready to... Beacon lights are on. And
flight
let's go ahead.
attendants, arm doors, and cross-check.
Replan the pushback. Carl Childers, hello my friend and welcome. Glad to have you. No. So FS economy is nothing like this. No, this is much way better than
Once again, we'd like to welcome you on board. Your safety is our top
this is much better
priority.
than FS economy in my view. It's different. It's different.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
I tell you guys, of all the programs that I've tried, you know, those on air and all that, but this is by far the best pilot career add-on or application for flight sim. It's great, and it's tightly integrated with SimBrief. It's tightly integrated with you know, there's a huge database behind it that powers this. It's got all the airliners.
Sir, the bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed, and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
All right.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
All exits are clearly marked with a sign overhead.
Perfect. All right. So if we bring up,
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
all right. So if we look at our departure airport, Tripoli, and we look
Please
at the
release parking
taxi.
brake.
So this is runway 10. This is us. So we're going to taxi through hotel to the to runway 10. All right. It's getting mad at us. So let's release the parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
You
All
will
right.
start in the
Perfect.
sequence.
We're good to start the engines. Engine mode selector on start, and we'll begin with engine number 2. That's my bad. And again, we're flying today in the fly-by-wire livery. Shout out to the fly-by-wire team for the amazing work on this aircraft. Really, they've gotten the aircraft to a state where it is very enjoyable, and I absolutely adore the amount of work that they've done, and all the developers developing freeware. Hello from the Q8 Pilot channel. Greetings to all of you. We appreciate everything that you do for the community. So keep at it, and where you need support, I'm more than happy to provide it. The biggest thing is he really listens to the customers and make changes in a very thoughtful manner. Carl, that is a very important point that you bring up, because this is something.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
All right, let's set the parking brake. That is a very important point, because the customer experience is really something I am very particular about. And
Ground. You may disconnect.
I have actually personally had experiences with, I will say, I'm not going to mention any names, but I've had experiences with development companies in the flight sim genre that are not very customer friendly. In fact, I remember one of the times where I reported a problem with one of the aircrafts to the, to the support, on the support page. And by the way, I don't cut corners, so even if I know the developer, or I normally just follow the process. Yeah, I don't like to cut corners. So I submitted a ticket and I told them that certain thing wasn't working with the aircraft, and their reply was 2 words: "We know." It's like, okay, and what are you gonna do about it? I paid for the payware, I'm waiting, and of course they knew who I was. They knew it was, the content creator, but yeah, there are just some really. All right, engine mode selector to the off position, and we can now turn on the taxi light, runway turn off lights, and we can turn off the APU. Oh no, what happened? The engines were running. What happened? Huh. That's strange. That's really strange. I guess this is what happened with us when we were doing the the first officer battery. Yeah, no, the battery is okay. Batteries are both turned on. But I'm not exactly sure what happened here. Should we bring the external power back and see what's going on? That's really strange. Let me bring the external power real quick. Services, external power. There's no external power anymore because we're not at the gate. There we go. Alright, APU is there. Alright, let's attempt to start our engines again. Engine mode selector, engine number 2. Looks like everything's back to normal. And it looks like the engine is now spooling, is it? Yep, definitely is. Again, this is expected, by the way, folks, so we are doing the experimental version I use the experimental version of the fly-by-wire simply because it's got the VNAV feature, so... Alright, let's just wait for... Well, we're going to wait for the engine number 2 to stabilize. And then we're going to start engine number 1. So engine number 2 is now stable. Engine number 1. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened earlier. Dominique! Hello, my friend! This, isn't this an MSFS bug? I remember 2 years ago when they released it, I had the same problem with the vanilla A320. Could be, I don't know. Yeah, both engines were running, Captain Poland. Alright, while this completes, we'll put the auto brake on max, and we're going to set flaps 1 for departure, arm the speed brake. And we'll wait for the engine number 1 now to stabilize. Alright, and the engine is now available. Perfect. Engine mode selector to the off position, and we can now turn off the APU bleed, APU master. Thank God, all is well. Alright. And we can now taxi to the runway. Actually, let me go ahead and notify cabin crew. Parking brake released. And let's go. Perfect. All right. Now, taxiing on the ground, if we taxi too fast, SimBitWorld is going to penalize us for it. So we have to make sure that we do it nicely, and that we're nice to our passengers, and not exceed 30 knots on the ground if we want to receive a good rating by our company. All right, that's the runway right there. Right, and we are going to turn on the strobes, blinding lights, wing lights.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Takeoff config. Where did I go? Oh, that's the runway. Okay. All right, folks, we are cleared for takeoff, runway 10. Right, lining up, and we are ready to go. All right, here we go. Manflex, SRS, and runway. 80 knots, check. B1, rotate. How's the rate of climb? Here's going up. And we begin our turn. Beautiful. Speed check. Flaps up. thrust. Autopilot 1 engaged. Alright, from this point forward, I think we can enjoy the flight. And by the way, if you look at SimBitWorld now, obviously it has detected, I didn't show you while we were taxiing, but it would show the actual flight stage as taxi out, and now we are climbing, and everything starts ticking automatically, and it will of course show you the entire flight path to and from your destination. You can see also the latitude and longitude being updated in real time as we fly out of Tripoli here in Libya. Thor's Fury. That's an optimistic on the path. Greetings, Kenny. How are you doing, my friend? Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. Guys, while you're at it, I really appreciate your hitting that like button if you like the stream, and if you like SimBitWorld, please smash that like button for me. Now, I guess it helps the ranking of the video or the stream once it's published later on. QNH is now set to standard, and it's a bit dark here in the cockpit. We're going to disarm the speed brake. Flaps are already 1, and all is looking good. Let's go ahead and introduce some lights. So floodlights, and we're going to turn on the lights here just to kind of make things a little better. And we'll increase the range here. There we go. And perhaps we'll bring those lights as well so we can see. There we go. That's much better. Much better. And those lights as well. And that one here. Perfect. 1,000 feet. We'll kill the lights. When the lights off, when we turn off, lights are off. Let's bring some lights to the overhead panel as well. Now things are looking in top shape. Can enjoy the beautiful views of the fly-by-wire. Yeah, MSFS is very bright sometimes, I agree. They didn't go back and check. Yes, definitely because of HDR. By the way, I have a second screen. I have a second screen which is a 4K screen, but it's not suitable for streaming because of, you know, the connection and etc. But when I run X-Plane or Microsoft Flight Simulator on that screen, the colors look so much better, and everything just looks so sharp. Unfortunately, I cannot use it for streaming, but maybe I will start recording some of my videos on the 4K display, and maybe just show you guys the... Will that engine cutoff result to wage penalty? You know what? I don't know. I have no clue if that's something that the application monitors. I assume that it does, but once we actually land, we'll be able to see what exactly we're rated on, and it's quite intense. Have you seen it? As you've seen in the beginning of the stream, the list of monitored things is quite long. So a lot of things are monitored by SimBitWorld. I really like this fly-by-wire. aircraft. Alright, I'm going to leave you guys with this wing view, and I will be right back in a few minutes. I need to take care of a personal matter, and we'll be right back with you guys. Welcome back, folks. We are on our way to Portage International Airport in Tunisia. This is SimBitWorld. As you can see now, we can see the flight stage has changed, transition to from. Block time 11 minutes, flight time is 9 minutes. We are still climbing, and we're going to be climbing to 30,000 feet. ETA is 2007 Zulu. And this is the ground speed, airspeed, and everything else along the way. Yeah, beautiful. And by the way, now from the dashboard, you can also see the history. So, friend request received. Oh, all right. You have received a friend request from Brian. Please go to the community page to accept it. Alright, let's do that. Community page. Let's see. I don't see airline leaderboard, public stats and data, Discord server. By the way, from within the application you can visit. I don't see anyone here. Friend requests. Ah, there we go. Oh, I have a number of friends. All right. Well, thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and accept them. Accept. Right, accept. Oh, Carl. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it. Hopefully we can have some fun together with SimBitWorld. Nicholas, accept. Carl, accept. Ryan. There we go. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. Hopefully we can have some fun here together. And, yeah. Right, so we can go back to our flight now. all's looking good. Let's hop into the cockpit. Paul, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Yeah, Carl, I got one from you as well. Absolutely. See, that's one of the things in Microsoft Flight Simulator that I personally like a lot is the fact that it brought the community together. The community feature in Microsoft Flight Simulator is very powerful, and you can do community, group flights, and you can just bring everybody there. You can chat on Discord, of course, for added interactivity. But that is one of the very strong points in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It brought the community together. It gave us a platform to just get in a plane, fly in this beautiful world, and be with one another, appreciate one another. It's something I really have a lot of respect for, and something I'm very fond of. The fact that you're, able to just bring all your community and fly with them, and that's really something. Really something. Do you have the Flight Factor A350? Yes, sir. I do have the Flight Factor A350. I've done many flights with it, especially when the support for SIDS and stars came. Definitely it's there. And yeah. Looks like most of our flight is over water. Yeah, no. So about 1/3 of the way is going to be, actually more than that. Probably half our way is going to be over water. We have now reached our cruise level.
Before the flight, again to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your seat elbows clear from the aisle, as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley cards shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating in the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
Perfect. How do I change the beacon to a different Flight Factor A350? How do I change? I'm not exactly sure what you're after. Sorry. By the way, Kuwait, are you from Kuwait? And where did you get the name from? Yeah, sir, I am from Kuwait. I'm a Kuwaiti national, and the name Kuwait, I've said that in previous streams, so where it came from. Basically, back in the 80s or maybe in the early 90s, there was an oil company established called Kuwait. It was a gas station, basically in the UK. It was owned by the Kuwait Oil Company, and with that, when that company was established, there was a trend here in Kuwait using Q8 to stand for Kuwait, as in the country Kuwait. So it was short for Kuwait, and you started seeing a lot of things Q8, such as Q8 cars, Q8 loans, Q8 travel, Q8 everything. So everything was Q8, and it's short for the country name. And so when I started doing YouTube, I wanted to think of something really catchy, and that's actually what came to mind, Kuwait pilot. So I am the pilot from Kuwait, in other words. And yeah, it worked pretty well, I think, for me. I think you guys like it. I think a lot of people, Kuwait Airlines, yeah. I think a lot of people, Jane Lauren, hello my friend, welcome aboard. Jane, welcome aboard, glad to have you with us. So I think a lot of people now call me just Q8 without even pilot. It's for short. They call me Q8, and that's it. All right, let's take a look at our flight plan real quick. And we are here. If we close this, you can see that we are not too far from the top of descent. So that's the top of climb, that's the top of descent, and that's the destination there, the airport. We are at 30,000 feet. About 27 minutes until arrival. So we're looking good, folks. Let's take a look at the outside. That is a very nice looking scene. That is just beautiful. You see how the cloud smoothing effect is very nice in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Just absolutely brilliant. By the way, folks, I have recently posted a video of the Reality Expansion Pack, SimCorder's Reality Expansion Pack for the Coronado Navajo. If you haven't seen that video, please go ahead and take a look. It's a brilliant aircraft, and with the expansion pack, it is even better. And just yesterday, I posted a settings video for Sim Update 9 for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it's supposed to help you. Sim Update 9 has not been very kind in a lot of respects, so a lot of broken things. The guys from DC Designs, the makers of the Concorde, have really been affected, and they're furious, it looks like. They've sent, they tweeted a message to Asobo saying thank you very much for breaking our add-on for the 3rd time. So it looks like they're pretty pissed off about, you know, the changes that Asobo does that are not backward compatible. And see, to me that is probably indication of not having very sound development standards, and maybe the standards are changing, so the exception is the norm, or the exception is the standard. And I've been in the development business for a very long time. I was a developer myself, and this issue of backward compatibility is very, very annoying. And I recall that we were one of the applications we used in the financial industry required an update from the vendor, and it wasn't compatible with some of the code that I have written, and so I had to spend so much time to rewrite the code to make it compatible with a new upgrade, which is a real pain. We are looking good, folks. Excellent stuff. Alright, if we look at SimBitWorld now, you can see that now the status has changed to cruise. And again, we have block time, flight time, and once we arrive, we will submit the report and take a look at, you know, how well we've done today. Perfect. I want to welcome all the new subscribers to the Q8 Pilot channel. Steve OL, Nimi O, Nimrud Game, Beast Flies, Slurp, Desnut, Sean Stanley, Steve Jukes, Jesse Hernandez, Vugo, Branding Flyer, Rolla 737, Amr Ali, welcome guys, and Bill Alexander, welcome aboard, folks, and thank you for your subscription to the Q8 Pilot channel. I truly appreciate it, and I appreciate all the support that you guys provide to the channel. Dougal McTavish, hello my friend, welcome aboard. It's been a long time. I was wondering about you, man. How have you been? It's definitely been a long time. MSR 220, what joystick yoke do you use? I use the TCA Airbus pack. The TCA Airbus pack by Thrustmaster is excellent. I, however, use the Alpha Flight Control with the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warhog throttle. We definitely need to catch up, Dougal. Just Discord, send me over Discord whenever you get a chance, and let's chat. Yeah. Chris Salton, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. It's not very often that I catch up on your feeds, but I'm enjoying this one. Well, welcome aboard. I'm glad that you're enjoying it, and yeah. Well, it's looking good. The sky colors here. By the way, this is probably the very first time in my flight simulation career that I fly this route, or in even this part of the world. I don't think that I've done any flights in the African continent. And the other day I was looking over my SimBrief flights, and most of my flights are actually in Europe and the US. But yeah, it's nice to do a flight in a new place, and maybe I need to go and I've done a flight in Africa. I've done a couple of flights in Morocco, and I have done a flight into Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt a couple of times. So yeah, so I've done, but they're very few. They're like, you can count them. I'm having some problems with the FBW throttle with the TCA pack. At the end, can you show me your throttle settings? Sure, Captain Paul. So with the so there is an option for the fly-by-wire to calibrate you can read it from the sim. And if you go down here, so actually my throttle, when I'm sitting at the ground, it's not at idle. Okay, you cannot push the throttle all the way back because I want the reversers as well. I don't have a reversers access on my HOTAS throttle. So what I do is I move it a little bit, and then I tell. So let me show you if we can go. It's in the settings, sim options, calibrate. This one here. Yeah. So here in the flight you have access 1 and 2. I do have access 1 and 2. And you set here, you see this, it says reverse full, and if you just move your joystick, you need to move it to the position that corresponds to toga, flex, climb, idle, and reverse, full. And at every stage when your joystick is at that right position, so let's say you're halfway through, you want this to be climb, just say set from throttle, and then apply and save. And you do it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. You do it 6 times for all the different 6 positions, and with every time you stop the throttle at a position, just make sure, say, set from throttle, apply and save, and you're good to go. That will set things the right way. MSR 220, do I read Arabic? Yes, sir, I do read Arabic. It's my mother tongue, so I speak it fluently, write it fluently, all that good stuff. Yeah. Yes, I did that, but it's completely different in the sim. All right, we'll take a look at it. Or if you want, I can do a quick session with you over Discord, Captain Poland, and I'll help you set it up. Hopefully, it's not a big deal. Do you know when XB12 will be available? And will XB Explain 11 continue to be supported? Well, I have no clue when Explain 12 is releasing. Let's see, we are close to top of descent. All right, let's start entering our arrival information. Let's come here. Actually, we have a message already on the McDo saying enter the destination information. So let's go and go to the next phase. All right, so our destination Q&A. What happened here? All right, destination information 1017 for the QNH 1017, and the current temperature is 16 Celsius, pleasant. And the current wind is 367 knots. 367 knots. Not bad. Transition altitude is already set. Radio 250. And we are good. Right, we're approaching top of descent now. We're going to go ahead and reset the MCP altitude. Let's take a look. I believe the 3000 was the approach platform. I actually forgot, so let me just really quickly take a look at Navigraph. And let's see here. Navigraph, by the way, is another application that I highly recommend for flight simming. It's just brilliant, and it's highly supported by a lot of the third-party add-ons. All right, so 1900 feet is our platform altitude, and let's go ahead and set it now. 1900 feet. You know, I was looking over the Aviation Labs official trailer of SimBitWorld earlier today, and it just really gave me the chills because it reminded me of my very good friend Thomas Rasmussen. And Thomas has been probably the best cinematic creator for flight simulation for a very long time, and quite sadly he just decided to quit. And I still very fondly remember all the conversations we had, and we used to vent to one another as well when things go wrong. We've done a giveaway, a number in fact of giveaways together, and Thomas is a very kind gentleman, and the flight sim community has lost a great guy, really. I hope that he comes back and he starts making videos again. I truly dearly miss him a lot in the community. Of course, many Matt Davis, Frugal Sim, Castrator, all those guys have pretty much quit. I hope that they are well and safe, and they have found what really makes them happy in their lives. And I definitely do hope to get in contact with them sometime in the near future. All right, folks, we are now approaching the top of descent. Or easy to have my throttle set 1/4. Well, we can figure that out, Captain Poland. Maybe we can do it over Twitch. Has anyone heard from Thomas? No, I haven't heard from him in the longest time now, Dougal. It's been a very long time. Here's top of descent, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to begin the descent. Nav descent. There we go. Right at the top of descent mark. And it looks like we are over Tunisian airspace now. We are definitely over Tunisian airspace. Let me bring SimBitWorld. There you go.
Flight deck, ladies and gentlemen. As you may have noticed, we have begun our initial descent.
That's Tunis,
now
the capital of Tunisia.
As we prepare for approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until your aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
Beautiful. Again, here we can see the entire flight path of our flight. Stage, as you can see now, says transition to from. Flight time 30 minutes, right on the dot there. We are looking good. It's a beautiful scene, by the way, with all these beautiful clouds in Microsoft Flight Simulator. My very first flight from Libya and my very first arrival into Tunisia, and I can thank SimBitWorld for introducing me to those two countries. Yes, Exuman. Yes, that is the experimental version I'm using. Which is, again, you can very easily know by seeing the TOC and TOD marks on the PFD. That is the experimental version. And what I do like about the experimental version, it gets updated every day. So every day there is something new, bug fixes, new features, and stuff like that, and more, you know, good stuff, good flight sim stuff. Right, 26,000 for 1,900. Let's take a look at the outside, folks, shall we? Look at that. Woo, beautiful. What a beautiful looking scene here. Brilliant. We're doing pretty good, I think, in terms of our altitude and speed. Of course, it's in managed mode, so I expect the Airbus, which is a highly automated aircraft, to do what it's supposed to do. I will never go after your landing, so don't bother doing settings. I will just catch up on Discord. That's perfect. My MSFS never looks that good. Well, a few tweaks here and there, and you'll be there. I was using the development version. The development version also has, it's actually the next stable release normally is from the development version, but the experimental version is the one that is, you know, very high fidelity and constantly updated. I prefer the experimental version. Toy Still Sim, hello, any video tutorial, wing view for me, please? Yeah, I think a lot of... Bill Barrett, hello, my friend, welcome aboard. Really glad to have you, and thank you for all your messages and keeping me updated with the latest flight sim news. Really appreciate it. And looks like we have a subscriber. Shafez Wallace has just subscribed to the Q8 Pilot channel. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us here. And we continue now our descent. We're at 19,000 for 1,900. Guys, look at this view. The clouds look absolutely fantastic in Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is wow. This is just really wow. Look at that. Screenshot material right there. Beautiful. Definitely, Abdulaziz, it looks very realistic, and I do like, you know, I do like the depiction of the world and weather in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Second to none when it comes to the visuals. Really nothing comes close. I think the closest thing to that was, what do you call it, FS, Aerofly FS. MSFS had photorealistic scenery, but the weather was nothing like this. They had implemented very good cloud smoothing, but it wasn't based on real weather or anything like that. This looks really well. I mean, it looks very, very nice indeed. It looks like we need to turn on the engine and wing anti-ice as we go through these clouds. Yeah, definitely. Let's go ahead and turn on the engine anti-ice there, wing and engine anti-ice, just to be safe. 15,000. I'll reduce the range here. We're looking good. This one is still not in this version. We're going through some heavy layer of clouds. Brilliant. Just really beautiful. Here, let's take a look here. Just look at that. Beautiful view out of the window here, overlooking the engine and part of the wing. Right, we are approaching 10,000 feet, and if we look at our flight plan here, this is so this is the decel point. 10,700. We've got about 10 nautical miles or so. I think we're looking good, and descending at a reasonable rate. Andreas, hello my friend. For flight model and feel of the planes, do you prefer MSFS or X-Plane? Well, it goes without saying I prefer X-Plane, but having said that, I'm starting to really like the Cessna 172 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's starting to feel very realistic with the new changes that they've done for the flight model, not to mention that the BAE 146 by Just Flight handles superbly. And this aircraft is without a doubt a study level aircraft of the BAE 146. Brilliant aircraft, really. I absolutely love it. It's very, very good indeed. It looks like it's raining, folks, so it's a good idea we have the engine anti-ice turned on as we make our way through those clouds, and hopefully things will subside before our landing. Right, we are now going to 250 knots. We're going to go ahead and turn on the landing lights. Landing lights are on. Right, let's go ahead and turn on the landing system. Right, landing system is turned on. We're almost there now. By the way, we never started our clock, but I don't think SimBitWorld would penalize you for that, so that's alright. RxCG 737 Classic, my love, yeah! I love the RxCG 737. The only problem is that all updates have stopped. You know, the last update, I think, was at the beginning of Corona, when the pandemic started. I think, you know, the development team had some free time on their hands, obviously. And they made an update, but after those updates, we haven't seen anything really, and I'm not sure even if they are going to make it available for X-Plane 12 or not. It is Vulkan compatible, So it shouldn't be very difficult. If an aircraft today is Vulcan metal compatible, it shouldn't be a very difficult thing to to port it to X-Plane 12. So yeah, but we'll see. I need to take a look here at our flight plan. We need to be at 3,300 feet. I'm not sure why it's accelerating now and it's doing strange things. It's definitely doing very strange things right now. Alright, we continue now the descent once more. Guys, look at this scene. Just really beautiful. My very first time in Tunisia here, and I think I need to do more flights in this part of the world. I think they have a really interesting terrain, and I love mountains, by the way. And it looks like they've got a lot of green mountains in Tunisia. Right, we're almost there now. 8,000 feet for 1,900. Works of using the experiential build. Keep you on your toes. Yeah, absolutely. Alright. We're going to reduce the range here to 20 nautical miles. We're looking good. SimBitWorld is looking good. I'm going to move it to the other screen. And you know what? Let's go ahead and ring flight control replay. And we're going to record this so we can take a look at the flight plan. So we can actually begin recording now. Oh, set the barrel reference. There we go. QNH is set. Let's record that. We'll call it 1324. Save that. All right. What I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to change the speed manually here. Maybe we'll go to manage speed later on, but I'm going to go to 180 knots. And I think I'm going to extend the speed brake a little bit here to help reduce our speed. The speed brake. Speed check, flaps 1. Alright, and we're going to turn off the engine anti-ice for landing. Runway turn off lights and taxi lights are on. Wing lights are on. We're a bit too high. And we need to lower the landing gear. Alright, so landing gear is coming down. Speed check, flaps 2. Let me take a look here at the performance.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Alright, we're activate the approach phase, and we can now switch this to manage speed. Why does it go so fast to... Let's leave it there. we're doing okay. So the calculations looks like they're a bit off, but that's okay. That's the runway ahead of us now. We're aligning on the glide slope and the localizer. That's the runway ahead of us now. And approach. And manage speed. Speed check, flaps 3. And flaps full. We are on the glide slope and the localizer. Look at that beautiful view. Right, we're looking good. Alright, let's do the final check here. We already notified cabin crew, but we have our wing lights, runway turn-off lights, all the lights are on. We need those guys to go on as well. And it should actually go on at 10,000 feet. Below 10,000 feet, you should turn on the seatbelt sign. It's automatic with your once it's below 10,000. And we are now ready to land at our destination. Beautiful. Just look at that. I would hold off on the replay until after you submit the flight. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, appreciate it. Might fail you on some checks. Very much. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. Wow, look at that. That's a really beautiful scene here. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Right, runway in sight. And we will disengage the autopilot at 1,000 feet and manually land the aircraft. Beautiful weather here as we approach Portage International Airport in Tunisia. And the cabin is checked already. There we go. All of you guys here, be happy. Alright, no blues, and we're clear to land. I wonder if there are any payware sceneries or even freeware for this part of the world. I've seen very few. The best one is the Kuwait International Airport by Yahya. Brilliant, brilliant airport. Very, very accurate, by the way. Do you know that the cup on the captain's side is editable? Made one for himself. You should make one Q8 pilot. When I have time, I'll probably do it. I've seen a lot of people that that change this cup here. I'll do one when I get a chance. All right, 1,000 feet, 1,000. Let's disconnect the autopilot and my aircraft.
$500.
Continue.
400. 100 above. 300.
A little bit of wind.
Minimum 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. 5.
Woo! Beautiful crosswind there. Beautiful landing. Oh, that was amazing. I think we forgot the brakes there. Wow, that crosswind landing was beautiful. Oh, I just absolutely enjoyed that. Wow. All right, good to clean up. And we can now, well, once we're on the taxiway there, let's switch this to taxi. Leave the runway turn off lights. That was beautiful. Thank you, Hawktor. Thank you very much. And welcome to Portage International Airport in Tunisia, ladies and gentlemen. And our pilot career is definitely off to a good start with this landing. All right, here we are off the taxiways, off the runway. Strobes can go off. No, let's leave this. Landing lights are off, and wing lights are off. This is on taxi already. We're looking good. All right, let's head over to the gate. Looks like it's on the other side there. Yeah, and the scenery around this area is not bad. It's actually pretty good. I can see some airport buildings there. It looks like the main terminal is right to our right, just ahead. And we're going to make sure we don't exceed 30 knots on the ground, so that SimBitWorld would give us a good rating. By the way, what was our landing rate? Landing rate, ladies and gentlemen, was -173. -173 FBM, which is pretty good. I think we're going to get an A from SimBitWorld for that. All right, let's go ahead and start the APU. Why still this is in reverse? Ah! There we go. Right, we're going to continue here. We're crossing the runway. Clear left and right. This was really an enjoyable stream altogether. I really enjoyed you know, taking you guys through SimBitWorld, a Pilot's Live, Chapter 2. The program is definitely worth it. It's worth the time. It's worth whatever price. I don't know what the price range is, but it's definitely worth it. It's a fun application, jam-packed with features, very interactive. And brings that level of immersion into your experience, and really, of course, there's a lot of room for improvement still. A lot of more features can be integrated into the application, such as maybe realistic prices and things like that. is something that really can, again, bring it a notch up, I think. But overall, very enjoyable, and I really enjoyed what happened here. Why did the aircraft stop? All right, let's go. Here we go. Captain Poland, thank you very much. Just super chatted. £2. Thank you for your generosity. That was a sexy landing. Hope you enjoy your... Thank you very much. Indeed. Indeed. Alright, looks like we can bring the aircraft to a stop here. I'm not sure what this is. No. That's not a... I'm not sure what this is. But it looks like there's one here, so we'll just park the aircraft here. Well, that'll do. That's fine. Don't worry too much about that. Alright, here we go. And complete stop. Parking brake is set. And we're going to turn on the APU bleed. And we're going to turn off the taxi and runway turn off lights. Beacon off. Nav off. And let's kill the engines. Engine 1 and 2.
Yeah, first, I just time.
The doors verified.
Alright, and we can now turn off the passenger and non-smoking signs. Alright, folks, we are now ready to bring SimBitWorld and submit our report. We are done now. I was about, by the way, let me stop the recording here. Alright, we'll bring this up later, and let's submit the report. Submit flight. Are you sure? Yes, we are. Your flight has been submitted, and we're going to say OK. And now it's doing all the calculations, whatever. So now, by the way, it will pick up the next flight in your schedule. So we've done the first one, and this is the next flight, which is, again, flight number TAR 701 A319, 37,000 feet. And it is to, again, LSGG, is that Geneva, to Carthage International in Tunisia. Yeah, that's Geneva International, as you can see here. So that's the next flight already selected for us in the dashboard. And now we can, if we go to the logbook, you will be able to see the details here. So we can actually look at our flight. And if we click on the details, now this is what we've gotten. There are a few things where, you know, we've failed. So let's take a look here. So this is our flight, pilot name Q8 pilot A320. This is flight number. All flight information is here. We've passed on the general, so we've kept the maximum pitch angle. Taxiing out, we were fine. Takeoff. So the only areas where we failed is as we taxied in. Navigation light on, beacon light on. So those are the two items where we failed. So I think we've done pretty well. XP point 78.4, and the score, the overall score for this flight was 98, which is very good. So I'm very happy with whatever we've done here, and we're ready for our next flight. Now, before we call it a day, let's go ahead and take a look at a replay of the landing. Let's see here. Again, a great add-on if you like to do replays is the Flight Control Replay for Microsoft Flight Simulator and P3D, I believe. Also works in the same way. Let's load the flight plan, and we are now ready. So we're going to say click here, and let's see. It's the fly-by-wire thing. Oh, it's starting the engines. All right, well, let's do this. We're going to bring the aircraft closer to the airport. It's still too far. It's about right here.
2,500.
Let's go. Why is the landing gear going? The sounds are not, during the replay, is just kind of off, but...
Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating to the front galley with the flight deck.
Oh, just look at that, folks. What a beautiful looking scene. Now, the flight control replay can be jittery sometimes, but it's the only way that we can replay our flights. The sounds are from the... you hear those sounds because fly-by-wire is trying to start the aircraft's engines. Oh, just look at that view, folks. That's beautiful. Let's leave it on this wing view. This one. And then we'll do it again. But we will select, we'll do it from the external view. Oh, that's just beautiful. Touchdown. Oh, that's brilliant. Right, let's bring up the control. And we can replay it. All right. Play. Look at that. Beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you have enjoyed this live stream and that this was an insightful, informative, and entertaining first look at SimBitWorld, a pilot's life, Chapter 2. I thoroughly enjoyed the stream and the interactivity, and I hope that you've enjoyed watching SimBitWorld as much as I enjoyed showcasing the product to you. It was definitely a brilliant product. I loved it, loved the stream, loved the interactivity with all of you guys. It's been fun. Guys, the Sim Hanger, or Mark, is a good chap and a fellow content creator. He's an excellent content creator. So please do visit his channel and pay him a few hundred likes and subscribes. Excellent material on VR, excellent material on the new add-ons. He's very up to date. He keeps up with everything in the community. He's a great resource. So I highly recommend that you visit him and subscribe to his channel. Also, a shout out to aviationlands.com for creating such a beautiful official trailer video of SimBitWorld, a pilot's life chapter 2. If you don't know Aviation Labs, folks, they specialize in creating promotional material for flight simulation. So you can visit them at www.aviationlabs.com. And from me, Q8 Pilot, I wish you all a pleasant and safe evening or morning wherever you are in the world. A UK Sim Pilot, welcome to the VVIP membership, my friend. Thank you very much for your support, and thank you, SimBitWorld, for providing me with a copy of this really great application to showcase here on the Q8 Pilot channel. It's been a lot of fun. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, and bye-bye for now.